What's up, it's your boy Future, and today I'm gonna talk about communication because I'm so goddamn good at it.
I wanna hear all that, I don't wanna hear none of that. I don't wanna talking about what you need.
So, what is communication? Merriam-Webster defines communication as a process by which information is exchanged between individuals through a common system of symbols, signs, or behavior. This means communication is so much more than just verbal, but also non-verbal, like body language, facial expressions, but also writing, pictograms, and a bunch of other stuff. With communication there's always a sender and a receiver. This is where one person sends a message to another person who then decodes it and then replies. Or not. Like most girls, when you DM them to go to the movies, but then they just don't reply. And you cry yourself to sleep for 2 weeks. Why did you have to hurt me, Mary? Why? Besides that, communication is also purposeful or non-purposeful. Communication is purposeful when the sender means to send it. An example of purposeful communication is me putting a tennis ball down my swimming trunks at the pool to show the ladies that I'm a big boy. An example of non-purposeful communications is girls saying, "Oh, okay, it's not that small," when they see what's actually in the swimming trunks. They don't mean to sound disappointed, they just always do. But there are more categories for communication than just purposeful and non-purposeful or verbal and non-verbal. There are also 3 other categories you can apply to communication: interpersonal, intrapersonal, and mass communication. The first one is interpersonal communication. This is communication between 2 or more people. Again, this doesn't mean the other person needs to reply. Why do you ghost me, Mary? Why? As long as a message is sent and received, interpersonal communication has happened. Interpersonal communication can be simplified for you idiots out there as communication where the sender specifically knows who he is communicating with. In other words, interpersonal communication is always direct and specific. In this way it is like spearfishing, because you focus on one fish or a couple of fish. You don't just cast out a large net and see what you find, because that is mass communication. So mass communication can be defined as a process of creating, sending, receiving and analyzing messages to large audiences via verbal and written media. You can think of billboards, books, memes, and you would never ever think it, but even YouTube videos where an idiot pretends to be a famous rapper is also an example of mass communication. Mass communication always happens through a medium, and unlike interpersonal communication, mass communication is indirect and unspecific, like how Mary handled my heart and made me do some serious introspection, which leads to intrapersonal communication. Interpersonal communication is defined as communicating with oneself. This can be done in several ways. The first way is where a person talks to himself out loud, like the crazy homeless person who chased me in the park yesterday until I cried. Oh no, I'm not supposed to say that. I'm a tough gangster big boy rapper called Future. I ain't afraid of shit. Okay. Now I totally convince you all that I'm a tough cookie. I can go on to the second way you can do intrapersonal communication. This is by not talking out loud, but by talking in your brain. Like when you see a pretty girl at the counter of your favorite coffee shop. For the Dutch people watching, with coffee shop I mean shop where you can buy coffee. And when she gives you your coffee, she says, "Enjoy!" And you answer back, "Thanks, you too," like a fucking idiot, and you think, no wonder Mary won't answer me back. Well, that kind of thinking is a good example of you talking to yourself but not out loud. Because if you say that out loud, it'll be weird. But there is another way of intrapersonal communication, because some people say that any kind of thought is you talking to yourself. Yes, even that one thought, you dirty motherfucker, saying stuff like that to yourself. So, this was your boy, Future, teaching you how to communicate. See you later.